Well, welcome all to the SnailTrail4x4 podcast. If you like going off-roading in Toyotas, wrenching on Toyotas, camping in Toyotas, maybe even poking a little bit of fun at Toyotas, and of course, hearing about how fantastic public lands are in Toyotas, then this is the podcast for you. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Tyler. Joining me for another episode of the SnailTrail4x4 podcast is Jimmy Jet. How you doing, buddy?
Good. Thank you very much. Yeah. How are you?
I'm doing pretty well today.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Glad to hear it.
Yep. I'm kind of excited for this episode. I don't know if this, we'll get into it in a little bit. That's fine.
We're already starting right off.
We're gonna dig it in. Here we go.
We're going to do the main point first, and then we're going to do all the, housekeeping at the end.
We're going to Tarantino this episode, guys.
There you go. Love that stuff. Snatch, such a good movie.
Snatch. I haven't seen that in a while.
I know, neither have I.
Jeez.
You like Dags?
No?
I like Dags.
You like Dags?
I like Caravans better.
Okay. I haven't seen that in a very long time, and I couldn't understand half of it. So
yeah, right. I had to put the subtitles on.
I think I gave up like 3/4 of the way through. I was like, I have no clue what's going on anymore.
I love the part where the guy's like buying the gun, and it's like, weight is a sign of reliability, and if it doesn't work, you could just hit him with it.
Wait, yeah, exactly. All right, so we got Monday episode for you guys today. Hopefully you guys had a great weekend. We have some updates for you guys on some public land stuff. Blue Ribbon has been kind of putting out a bunch of really good content about airing out the legalities behind some of these land conservation things that have been trying to go on that they've been fighting. So we'll dig into some of this today. A big update on the Oregon dunes, which is going to be really interesting. We got some fun things going on. So before we get there though, we have a lot going on. We always got a lot going on. This month's giveaway though is with Gear Wrench right here next to me on the chair. We have an 18-piece long-handled. This is really light.
Yeah, they're the ultralight series,
ultra titanium series.
Here, you want to hold the rest of it up?
I don't want to hold that other part. So long-handled high vis from the new high vis lines. They're wrenches though, so they're box ends, standard wrenches. And we'll have a matching standard socket set for you guys. That is, I believe it's a 3/8 drive. Yes. 3/8 drive socket set with the high vis numbers on it. Really cool. Kind of take on Gear Wrench, helping you find shit in your toolboxes easier. So we'll have the wrenches and the sockets for standard and one winner. And then the other wiener is going to be the metrics one. So you guys will get the 2 opportunities to win this month. Pretty cool stuff. Thank you. Huge shout out to Gear Wrench for sending that on over. If you guys want to get signed up for it and have a chance at winning one of these 2 sets, which each set is valued between $200 and $250, then you got to go and get signed up for the monthly giveaway this month. So you got to make sure you do that by the end of August, and you can do that through irate4x4.com. Go down to the SnailTrail4x4 forum, and then all your sign-up options are there underneath the SnailTrail4x4 forum. Or you can come on over to our Discord server. That we're up over 150 people now on the server joining in.
That's awesome.
Joining in with all the conversations and the fun times to be had there. So come on, check it out, and you can sign up as well for the monthly giveaways, gift boxes once we reopen those, or if you just want to refill Jimmy's PB blaster down here, you can do that too through that. So lots of different ways to help support the channel. We really appreciate it. We often talk that we love talking trucks, and our significant others do not like talking trucks. So anytime we get together, the significant others go off and go do their thing, and we just sit there and talk trucks all the time.
Yep.
And we would keep doing that. Except we just wouldn't hit a big red record button and put in the time and work to put it out to everybody out there for your guys' enjoyment. So being able to support the podcast just helps show us that there are a lot of people out there that actually enjoy and appreciate the time and effort and everything we put into talking trucks. And so we just gives us more incentive to keep doing it.
For sure.
So, support the channel that way. And we get you some cool stuff by doing it that way. So, another fun way you can support the channel is to go to Apple Podcasts and leave us a review. Because we're approaching 800. We might be over by now. Oh, I told people we were going to check.
You want to check?
I'll check. Yeah, I'll pull it up.
Well, in addition to that, another way you can support the podcast is just tell a friend. That's the easiest, cheapest, simplest way to help support the podcast. Just getting a friend of yours that's into off-roading, that likes off-roading and enjoys and listens to podcasts, just share the Snail Trail 4x4 podcast with them. So that would be the cheapest and easiest way to help support the podcast. While Tyler's looking this up, though, I'll tell you, once we get to 800 reviews, if we're not already there, we're going to give away an Onyx Elite membership and SnailTrail 4x4 and Morphlite swag packs. When we get to 850 reviews, we're doing the same thing, an Onyx Elite membership and a SnailTrail 4x4 and Morphlite swag pack. And then when we get to 900 reviews, we're giving away $900 worth of Morphlite gear, swag, and probably a SnailTrail swag pack too. So, Tyler, over there.
Yes, sir.
Do we have a number?
797.
Ooh, 3 more slots.
So 3 more spots available till we get to 800.
3 more spots available, and you get eligible to win that Onyx Elite membership and the swag packs.
Yep.
So get in. Once you put your name in the list there, once you leave your review, you're automatically entered for everything else we do in the future in regards to reviews.
Yep. Cool. So that's the monthly giveaway, some reviews, 2 really cool ways to support the podcast. Another good way to support the podcast is to go and buy and support those companies that are supporting the podcast. If you guys hear us have a company on the show, one of the show sponsors like Onyx or 4-Wheel Underground, companies we get on the show like Devos, Wolfbox, Gear Wrench, etc., Carbon Off-Road, lots of really cool companies we get to work with. And so another good way to support the show is if you guys are going out looking for gear to add to your vehicle, add to your camping setups, look into those companies first. And when you go to check out, let them know that you're there shopping because you heard James from Carbon Off-Road over on SnailTrail 4x4 podcast, or you heard Spencer from Devos on the podcast. And, you know, they're just talk about who you heard on the podcast and make sure that they know that it was really nice to have them on the show, that you got to learn about the company, learn about the people behind the company. I think that's one of the fun parts of doing interviews
for sure
on the show. So, you know, the companies, there's a bunch of companies out there make some awesome stuff, but there's not always great people behind companies.
Sometimes there are.
Sometimes there are.
And we try to find the good ones.
Yes, we do.
Another thing that is currently going on in a way that you can also somewhat support the podcast is the Wolfbox group buy.
Yeah.
That is coming in close. We're about halfway done with the availability for you to go and purchase your Wolfbox. We did a group buy going on. We hit the highest tier. The discount code is available for the Wolfbox group buy. And you end up getting roughly 35% off is what it kind of comes out. The math comes out to be of the G900 Tri Pro.
Yep.
So I think it brings it down to like $250, $260.
Right around there. Yeah.
Somewhere in that market. I think I'm going to buy another one.
Yeah.
And put it into the Assistant CRV.
Uh-huh.
Her backup camera sucks.
Yeah.
And I just want her to have some more protection, you know, and I think that car is going to be handed down to the Mini Assistant.
Yeah.
And so I'm like, perfect. Let's see her first accident live.
Yeah, right. See what actually happened.
Yeah, see what actually happened here. But that group buy is going on. The discount code's on the Discord, or if you signed up for it, we have your email address. You should have received an email from us, including that discount code. So you have till the end of the month to get in and do that group buy if you want to get in on it.
Yeah, which is 2 weeks from today. So 14 days. That's all you guys got from here on out. From when this episode releases, at least.
Totally.
So make sure you guys are going over and doing that. And yeah, so that's a great way to always support the channel here and what we do for you guys out there. So anything else, man?
We got a package.
Oh, Yeah, what is this?
I know what it is. So you open it. I mean, you could read the label, I guess. I don't know if it'll tell you too much.
So I read the shipping label and that didn't tell me anything.
Okay. Well, then go ahead. I don't know why it's fragile.
Something yellow.
Sure.
All right. Here
I don't know why it says fragile. Unless they added something that I have no idea what it is. But essentially, I got a cold email. And when you open this up, I'll explain a little bit more. But they were kind of like, hey, are you interested in trying this? And I said, sure, send me something. And so this is what they sent us. So we'll see how it is. Tyler's slowly opening the box and reading the label.
Well, like I think I know one company you were telling me about that kind of did that, but like it's not really a cold call. We know that company.
We didn't know this company.
We didn't know. Oh, okay.
Did you know the label on this?
I don't know the label, but it's from the same state as the company that we do know.
Utah?
Yeah.
Oh, nope. No relationship.
Okay. All right. So, oh my God, I'm breaking it all. Here
it's fragile. It says fragile on the box, Tyler.
Fragile. It's a big box.
It's Italian. It is a big box. I don't know why.
All this crap in here. Yeah. Salt of the earth, essential everyday electrolytes. Okay. 4 sharper focus, variety pack, 7 flavors. There's pink lemonade, orange, grapefruit, lemon, lime, watermelon, strawberry, kiwi, and tropical hibiscus.
Ooh, nice.
35 sticks. Okay, so is this essentially like a drip drop?
Yeah, it's electrolyte powders.
Okay.
Yeah. So they reached out. They said, get a cold email saying, "Were you interested in trying our stuff out?" And I said, "Sure."
Nice.
Send me something.
Yeah.
I'll try We'll talk about it on the podcast.
Okay.
So I got water in my cup.
You got water ready to go?
That's why I wanted to wait later because I had coffee. Now I got water.
Okay. You didn't want a tropical hibiscus coffee?
Sounds like something you would enjoy.
Yeah. Okay.
Is that all that was in there? I think there's more.
No, there's more.
Yeah.
I was just looking at this. So there's 35 sticks in there.
Yeah. Okay.
Here's another kind of 15 stick pink lemonade, orange, grapefruit, chocolate, and unflavored.
Oh, interesting.
Now I was looking to see if these had any caffeine in them. They do not. It's sodium, calcium, potassium, and magnesium is what's listed on the...
Yeah, 0 fat, 0 cholesterol, 0 carbohydrates, 0 fibers, 0 sugar.
Yeah.
0 added sugars.
Yeah.
0 protein. So it's it's sodium and calcium, potassium, and magnesium.
Yeah,
which is in pretty much every one.
Yeah, the important electrolytes for stuff. All right, and there's another box in the box.
Maybe this is why it's fragile. This is all I expected us to get was right here. So I don't know what this one is. This is a happy birthday moment right now. What is it? Is it?
Fragile.
What is it?
It's fragile.
Yeah, that's... Whoa. Okay.
So
here's how we can mix it, huh?
Yeah, I'm guessing we could probably put, what is the measurement? 4 to 6 or 6 to 12 ounces of water? 8 to 16 ounces of water. So if we took
we filled that up and put 2 of them.
24. It doesn't say how many ounces this is. We could probably put 2 or 3 sticks in this and fill it up and then just pour it in cups and drink it for the episode. All right.
What flavor do you want?
I don't know. The tropical hibiscus. Strawberry kiwi.
Strawberry kiwi. Sounds good to me.
All right.
Time out. We're going to go make a drink of salt of the earth.
Can we blend it with whiskey? Is that our...
I don't know why that.
All right, back. We made some salt of the earth, kiwi strawberry kiwi, whatever.
It's good.
Pretty good.
Pretty good.
Yeah.
Salty,
which is kind of the point.
Yeah.
It's designed to be electrolytes, so that's good that they're accomplishing the first part. So yeah.
But tasty. Good flavor.
Yeah.
For no sugar, no really any other additives.
Yeah.
That's kind of crazy.
Yeah. I would totally drink these if I was playing tennis again.
Yeah.
They're good.
I thought you were playing tennis again.
I was trying to. I haven't done it yet.
What is we did the strawberry kiwi. Has pink Himalayan salt, potassium, chloride, I guess.
Potassium chloride?
Oh, yeah, that's all one. There's no comma between potassium and chloride.
Okay.
Let's see. Calcium lactate, magnesium. Oh, man, here we go. Glycinate, magnesium, that letter L dash theorate, malic acid, aloeose, red beet powder, natural strawberry flavor, natural kiwi flavor, stevia leaf extract.
Okay.
So stevia is where they're getting the sweetness.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
I like it.
Yeah.
It's tasty.
I agree. I think it's
And
very
these guys
good.
just called you out of just nowhere?
Emailed me out of the blue.
Were they like, hey, you have a podcast. Can I send you some stuff to
Pretty
talk
much.
about it?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
I said, sure.
Send it on
They
over.
said it would
We'll try it out.
it's perfect for your audience. And I was kind of like, yeah, I could see.
Yeah.
Not like we're athletes, but we are going out in vehicles. We are, well, most of us, maybe some of us have no air conditioning. We're sweating like crazy, and we need to keep our focus when we wheel.
Yep.
And something like this, an electrolyte, is a great thing to have handy.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, these are tasty. The ones so far, so good. You know, I'm quite happy with the kiwi strawberry one that you picked.
Yep.
Wish to try. So
I need a cup, an actual cup though.
we have the glasses
Are they still out there?
in the fridge, don't we?
I think I put them back in there.
Yeah. So if you are looking for any of them, I mean, I'm happy with this one. I think it's a good choice. I mean, I won't lie, there are other varieties out there. We've used drip drops. The ones from Target are pretty good, but yeah, I don't know. Maybe if anybody out there is interested, we can get these guys on the podcast and we can talk about what sets them apart from all the other companies out there. And why you should look into their style of electrolyte packs. But yeah, I'm seriously interested to try the unflavored one. I want to see what that's like. It's just salt water.
I've never seen a chocolate flavored one either.
Yeah, neither
of
have I.
electrolytes. So I'm really curious. I want to try that one next.
Yeah, maybe. How many can we get through in an episode? How overhydrated can we be? So anyways, yeah, thanks Salt to the Earth for sending those out. Appreciate it. Super happy to share our feedback in the future on some of these other flavors. I think they'll be good.
One flavor per episode for the next 2 months. I'll let everybody know.
We'll see. Yeah. I'm down.
All right. And that's tasty. That is pretty good. I used to drink a lot of electrolyte stuff in college. So
I don't think that was invented when I was in college.
yeah.
We had Gatorade.
Your electrolytes were Coors Light.
Yeah. That was our water.
Yeah. So
we had Gatorade and Powerade and stuff, but
yeah,
there was no, there was powdered Gatorade, but there was no like electrolyte boosters. Stuff,
okay.
Usually
they were just starting to come around, but they weren't really too many powdered drinks. There were a lot of like shot blocks,
right?
Like gel shot blocks and stuff.
That was around.
So
there was pink lemonade.
Yep.
Which like country time pink lemonade.
Uh-huh.
That was around. Which was a powder.
It's powder.
Because when you mix it straight with vodka, it tastes good.
Fair. That works. Okay, what are those called, Jimmy?
I don't know.
You don't remember what those are called? You
well,
told
if you're
me one
thinking
time.
about pink panty droppers, that's a 12-pack of Coors Light, a handle of vodka, and then one of those containers of pink powdered country time lemonade.
Okay. Yeah. That's what I was thinking of.
Those are pink panty droppers.
Yep.
Oh, voicemail? Oh.
Nope. Some number from Kansas.
Kansas.
I don't know anybody in Kansas. Get out of here. Cool, man. Those are tasty.
Yeah.
They're pretty
fun
good.
surprise.
Yeah.
You're welcome. And yeah, thanks, Mr. So-and-so, whoever contacted us and sent them out. Mr.
Perfect.
Salt of the Earth.
Yeah. All right. Anything else for housekeeping?
No.
Cool.
No, I don't think so.
All right,
I was thirsty, so I wanted to.
You just wanted to
get this one open so I can have some drinks.
Fair. All right, we're gonna take a quick break. I'm gonna organize some notes here real quick, and then we'll be right on back with today's main topic, the campfire discussion for this week. Hopefully, it's a good one, and hopefully, it's some informational things for you guys.
Thinking about linking your Toyota, but every time you start shopping, you end up with 17 browser tabs open trying to figure out what actually fits your truck? Four Wheel Underground fixed that. Head to fourwheelunderground.com and hit Explore Suspension Systems now. Simply select your rig, pick front or rear, and choose an axle type, and you're all set. No digging through hundreds of brackets trying to figure out what works together and what doesn't. No guessing which configuration you need. Just engineered suspension systems designed to work together on the trail and on the highway. So stop trying to engineer your suspension from a shopping cart. Go to fourwheelunderground.com, hit Explore Suspension Systems, and build it right the first time.
Well, welcome back, ladies and gentleladies, to today's campfire discussion. Happy Monday, everybody out there. This one is kind of an ongoing discussion about some public lands issues that we're facing right now in the country. We started off by talking a little bit about national monuments.
Yep.
Kind of the point behind national monuments and how national monuments have started to becoming weaponized per se. The statutes behind protecting things of national importance in nature has been spread way beyond the things that they're meant to protect.
Sure. Agreed.
We talked a little bit on last Thursday's episode about your experience with the General Grant tree, and that when Sequoia National Park was first founded, there was also a national monument founded on the tree itself.
Yes.
And that's all that it was.
Correct.
And because back when the national monument statute wording, whatever was designed and created, it was designed and created and worded such that it had to be the smallest area designatable, if that's a word, it is now, in order to protect the thing that it's trying to protect. Right. And then you and I agreed and argued that, maybe the General Grant Tree National Monument should probably be a little bit more than the tree itself, maybe 20, 30 feet out from it, 100 feet out, maybe to protect the root system, maybe that much. But you're looking at a total square footage of 20 by 20 square feet.
Yeah.
Something like that. And then we get up to today, or last year, I should say, 2020 is when it was last reaffirmed. We get into the territory of like Bears Ears National Monument and Grand Escalante Staircase National Monument. That was 1.2 million and 1.8 million acres.
Right.
So over 3 million acres of I believe it's 98 million. That's the Forest Service. The Forest Service, U.S. National Forest Service, oversees 98 million acres of land.
Okay.
In this country.
Yeah.
So if you think about it, 3 million acres, we figured out it's about the size of Connecticut, or was it?
I think it was Connecticut.
It was about the size of Connecticut. So we are, quote unquote, protecting, trying to set up a land conservation in this country, roughly the size of Connecticut within the state of Utah, between just those two national monuments.
Yeah.
Now here's the part, we kind of went through what a national monument does, and the whole letter that Shannon put out from Blue Ribbon Coalition, and kind of some of the pieces of misinformation that were being spewed.
Statements and then clarifications.
Yes. From the other side, right? Statements that are putting out by the other side and then clarifications.
What it actually means.
Yes. So this is sort of along those similar instances here, that will, one of the things we're going to be covering today. So a big thing that quote unquote the other side. And I hate saying that.
Can I just pause for 1 second? Especially after going to a national monument in the wilderness and a national park recently. My big question to whoever is saying that all this land should be a national monument is, what are we trying to protect?
Yeah.
That's my question.
Yeah.
What are we trying to protect?
Yeah.
Because if it is that much land, then it should probably be a national park.
Okay.
Right? Not a national monument. And so that's my whole thing is that it should, I think there should be like sort of a limit.
A land limit on each designation.
Yeah. Like a monument is a thing.
Yeah.
It should be like an entity.
Yeah.
Right? Like if it was that eye that we were talking about in
the
that
Lord of the Rings eye?
Yeah. Sauron. No, there was that whatever, that thing that you can now have to walk for like 20 some odd miles or 2 days to get to it.
Oh, okay. Yeah. The cosmic ashtray.
That thing. It kind of looked like an eye.
It kind of does. Yeah.
Right. So the cosmic ashtray, if we're trying to protect that, then that's what should be the monument.
Yeah.
And then the national park should be around that.
Yeah.
Right.
I think that makes a lot of sense.
Not just turn the whole thing into a monument.
Yeah. That makes sense. I think monuments are one of the most restrictive things, other than maybe wilderness, that can be designated to land.
Yeah. Okay.
And so monuments are designed by nature to, and how they were set up, and the wordings that set up the laws that govern national monuments. They're designed to lock people out of them.
Got it.
Just plain and simple. They're there to protect the land from human beings.
Sure.
And so when a national monument goes in, there's a slew of things that end up having to get redone and relooked at.
Yes.
One of them is roads and routes within the national monument. So travel management plans. So what happens is, and what's been happening is that in 2020 with Bears Ears was reestablished because Trump in his first presidency almost abolished Bears Ears, brought it way down from the 1.2 down to the 200,000 acres that it was.
Okay.
Biden came in and Biden brought the National Monument Bears Ears back to its full standing, right?
Sure.
The full acreage. And then ordered a redo of the travel management plan. So that had been worked on from 2020, and it took until mid to late 2025.
Got it.
To get finalized.
Okay.
So what's been going around a lot, and what we're seeing a lot of on social media, is that we talked a little bit about it on the last episode we did this with, was that Trump and the Department of Agriculture, I believe, Department of Interior Secretary, they said, yeah, you virtually can't walk in the National Monument in Bears Ears.
Okay.
And then a lot of people were up in arms showing videos and stuff of how much they were out hiking and hunting and walking around these national monuments. And what they didn't realize was that they were able to do all that because the new travel management plans had not been starting to be enforced yet.
Got it.
So that's what we're going to dig into today.
That's what we're digging into.
One of the things we're digging into today. And so there was a great little video that Ben did from Blue Ribbon showing he remixed other people's videos of the other people saying, well, here I am hiking out the cosmic ashtray. Here I am hiking at this waterfall. Here I am hiking at this and that. And he found a bunch of videos of people doing that, all with their dogs off leash. Which is a massive no-no in national monuments.
Okay.
And national parks.
Yeah.
And any kind of federal land, right? Other than maybe BLM. But like if you're on a designated trail heading to a designated point of interest, your dogs have to be on leash. So what's kind of interesting about this is that these people that are so up in arms about not, I don't want to say not understanding the rules, they're so up in arms about
Public access
that they are trying to fight and say, well, I was walking just fine and I had my dogs out here just fine.
Yeah.
But they're not realizing that they didn't actually read the law and they're not actually following the law.
Right.
So like, if you guys are not willing to follow the law on one little thing, such as your dogs need to be on leash, then I don't think that gives you any credence whatsoever to try and argue the law from your side of view, from your point of view, if you're not willing to even understand that you're breaking the law to begin with. Like if you want to argue and try and set up the laws a certain way and say that, oh no, I was walking out here just fine, when you did not understand that you actually weren't walking out there just fine. You were actually breaking the law by being out there. That's the point that Blue Ribbon is trying to make right now.
Yeah.
Is that the laws governing and behind national monuments are very restrictive. The average public just doesn't understand it because the average public is just going to do whatever the fuck it wants to do anyways.
Yep. I witnessed a lot of that this last weekend.
Yes, you did.
2 weekends ago now.
Yes, you did, down in Sequoia and Kings Canyon.
Yep.
So yeah, and that's so they sent out this really kind of a lengthy email digging into the new travel management plan that was passed under Biden and has not been enforced yet under Trump.
Nice.
So it starts off by putting out a couple of things here, and it says, how many times in the last few days have you heard that the Bears Ears National Monument never actually restricted recreation, that it just protected the land? It's a good line, and the people repeating it have a lot invested in you believing it. But we read the actual signed 2025 management plan cover to cover, provision by provision. It tells almost the exact opposite story, and it tells it in its own carefully numbered paragraphs.
Yeah, sure.
That are very quick and easy reference points for Blue Ribbon Coalition to go through and tell you where exactly each one of these paragraphs and provisions are written, so that you can now go back to the 2025 travel management plan that was passed but not enforced yet, to be able to understand the law and understand why you being out at the Cosmic Ashtray, you being out at these waterfalls was actually illegal.
Okay.
And how, if the travel management plan does go into effect and the national monument does not shrink back down and things don't get canceled, this is going to be all considered illegal. It just hasn't been enforced yet. So it's trying to let you guys understand the law and the provisions that are actually in this.
Right. The point of the email is to show you how restricted a national monument is.
Yes. And how especially restrictive these two national monuments are.
Okay.
Because everybody is up in arms saying they're not restrictive when they just haven't been enforced yet.
Sure.
So there's been a lot of discussion about whether you can walk in Bears Ears. So let's take a walk through Bears Ears as it was envisioned by the Monument Management Plan. And you tell us if this sounds like, quote unquote, no restrictions to walking.
Sure.
Let's start with wheels.
Yeah.
Do you want to ride a mountain bike?
Always.
The plan carved out a remote zone, quote unquote, of about 775,000 acres. That's over half.
Yeah.
And set it aside for travel that's non-motorized and non-mechanized.
Got it.
So read that second word again. Non-mechanized means your bike, your bicycle. It's not limited. It's not permitted with a pass. It's zoned out entirely.
Correct.
So there's no path to ever be reconsidered either. Stack the hundreds of thousands of acres close to OHVs on top, add a flat ban on new mechanized routes, and the trail network you knew could only ever shrink.
Right.
There's no other place for it to go other than shrink and disappear. And it could never grow back for the reasons you'd actually want. Under Travel Management 4, a new motorized route can only be added when it's necessary for public safety or protection of Bears Ears National Monument objects. Therefore, recreational value is not a permissible basis. And read that plainly, no matter how many people want to use a new route, wanting to use it is never a reason the plan will get the agency to build it.
Correct. Yeah. I have a lot of things I want.
All right. Bears Ears is never going to open new routes due to recreational purposes.
No, never.
Because the whole point of a national monument is not recreation.
Correct.
So, do you want to organize a race?
Sure.
Yeah. The plan will let a bicycle race run on a designated open road while prohibiting a motorized race on the same road.
Okay.
So same road, same day, same dust. One is competitive motorized and banned outright, and the other is non-motorized competitive and may be considered. The arbitrary asymmetry is not an accident of drafting. It's written into one sentence and it tells you exactly whose recreation the plan was built to phase out.
Yeah. 100%.
Yep.
Not mechanical.
Correct.
Well, it's still mechanical, not bicycles.
Yeah. If you still want to ride together, you better count heads first. Recreation 23. So paragraph 23 of the recreation section caps motorized groups at 2 groups of 12 vehicles per route per day.
Okay.
So
groups,
24 rigs
per route.
Mm-hmm. Per route per day. Organized club runs and guided tours are often bigger than 12 rigs. Paragraph 19 sets a special recreation permit trigger at just 25 people in the Outback Zone, which is 542,361 acres, holding nearly all of the backcountry four-wheel drive roads and dispersed camping left. At 2 or 3 people per vehicle, that's 9 to 12 trucks before you need a federal permit to go for a drive or have a family gathering.
Wow.
Do you want a concrete hard-coded restriction?
I don't know what that means.
It means that there is no permits available. There's no nothing up for translation.
Okay.
It is very explicit on what it's not allowing. Arch Canyon, the one route the plan singles out by name. Appendix G describes who uses it in the plan's own words: side-by-sides, Jeeps, and modified vehicles on the designated road. Under Travel Management 14, every one of them now needs an individual special recreation permit for any motorized travel. Use is subject to allocation. Commercial and organized group events are prohibited. And the final half mile before the forest boundary closes seasonally from March 1st to August 31st. So all of summer.
All summer.
All summer, it's completely closed.
Let's be honest.
Yep.
It's hot out there all summer.
I agree. I don't want to be out there unless my AC is working.
Yeah.
But if I got AC and tinted windows, or somebody from Arizona is like, hey, I'm going to go to cool down.
Yeah.
More power to them. I think they should be able to go do that.
Sure. Can you go back to the beginning of that? What types of vehicles or what is allowed? Side-by-sides?
Side-by-side, Jeeps, and modified vehicles.
Okay, modified vehicles. So that would include Toyotas.
Yep.
All right.
Yep. On the designated road. Every one of them now needs an individual special recreation permit. So you have to go get one now.
Yep.
No commercial organized group events are prohibited. Sorry. All commercial and organized group events are prohibited.
Yes. Okay.
So you can't go out with your off-road club.
Nope.
It has to be personal, individual use only. The final half mile is all closed from March 1st to August 31st. So no going down there at all with any vehicle during the summer. That's not a zone on a map. That's a specific road and a specific community of users told the terms have changed.
Right.
I think it's pretty obvious which
does
group of users
any
being
other,
targeted.
if you're hiking or biking, you can still go out there?
Supposedly. Yep. Yep. So, 2 places don't even get the courtesy of a permit path. Paragraph 20 prohibits all motorized and mechanized special recreation special use permits in the Peavine corridor. It's the only route named this way in the entire plan and across every one of the 205,594 acres managed as lands with wilderness characteristics. No commercial trip, no organized event, no exceptions.
Wow.
No personal use.
Dang.
Now let's look at the sections the nothing changed crowd
Sure.
never mentions. That's the hikers, we've been hearing that a lot from backpackers, hikers, and hunters and fishers. Right?
Sure.
Because they really wanted to hide this. The recreation plan, right?
Okay.
The travel management plan for the national monument. If you hunt, the plan says it is 3 different ways. There are no exceptions that allow for cross-country OHV travel for game retrieval or antler gathering. AKA, if you drop an elk, and that's in travel management paragraphs 19 and 20, if you drop an elk a quarter mile off the road, you're not driving out to it.
Right.
You got to hike that whole elk back to your vehicle. You're not getting a side-by-side out to it. You're not getting a quad out to it. There's no mechanized access whatsoever.
Off the road.
Off the road.
Correct. Okay.
You better be prepared to hike that entire elk back to your car. If you cut firewood, paragraph 17 of FOR, I don't know what that one stands for, says the same thing about wood gathering. No cross-country OHV mechanized access at all. You better be able to carry by hand any kind of wood you want to gather back.
This that sort of raised a question for me that I thought the other day.
Mm-hmm.
And so when I was walking around in the national park and I was in a wilderness area, there were some people fishing.
Okay.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
So I know that wilderness areas pretty much pertain to transportation.
Mechanized, yeah. Mechanized travel. Yep.
But I was like, but a fishing pole and a fishing reel is mechanized.
That is. It's moving something through mechanical uses.
Yeah, I was like, so does a fishing pole fall into this?
I think a good lawyer could argue that.
And then in this aspect, collecting firewood. So are you allowed to use a chainsaw?
Probably not.
So you'd have to do a handsaw?
At least. I mean, under the national monument, if there's, well, this is specifically stating no cross-country OHV travel.
Right.
Chainsaw.
This was a higher level question though.
Okay.
I was just thinking of this, right? I was like, so is a fishing pole allowed, or would a chainsaw be allowed? Like, I don't know. I don't know how that falls. It's an interest because it has nothing to do with the travel.
Yeah.
Right. But it does have mechanical advantage or mechanical aspects to them.
Yeah.
Especially a chainsaw.
Yeah. It's not an all natural thing that you would think is being set up by the wilderness area.
Right. So it was just something I was thinking.
Interesting. That's an interesting take. I hadn't thought about it that way.
Sure. Yep. Collecting firewood is where we left off.
Collecting firewood. Yep. So yeah, you better be ready to carry any firewood.
Yeah.
Back to your car, back to wherever you're trying to go. You don't have to do anything at all to lose a road. Under SSP paragraph 11, a raptor nesting closure can include the temporary or permanent closure of any OHV route access to nesting areas. One nest can permanently close a road forever.
Cool.
So it doesn't matter if that nest happens to not be there the next year or the next season. That road is gone.
Yeah.
Gone, baby. And if it's gone, then all you hunters just lost your hunting routes.
Yep.
Sorry. Not sorry. Now let's take a little bit of a talk about hikers. Let's lace up those hiking boots and go for a real walk, is how they put it.
Nice. I like it.
Surely walking is safe, right?
Surely.
Not quite.
Oh.
The plan reserved the authority to close areas to non-motorized, non-mechanized cross-country travel.
Okay.
This is a bureaucrat's way of saying you, on your own 2 feet, off the trail. Normal people call this hiking. In several spots, the plan already limited it to designated trails only. The default was a polite, please stay on the trail.
Mm-hmm.
But the power to make that mandatory across 1.3 million acres was just written right into the new travel management plan.
Okie dokie.
The call on which areas to close to hiking was routed to a future process for the Bears Ears Commission to advise the agency, with no seat at that table reserved for the people who actually hike it.
Of course.
So
why
again,
would they do that?
It's going to be bureaucrats and office people that are not actually the users,
right?
And not there to understand what things are important for hikers to hike. And they're now making it illegal to hike off trail.
Yes.
So if you stay on the trail and go up to the Cosmic Ashtray, you better stay on that trail. You can't get off that trail.
Right.
You can't hike around. You go out to that waterfall. Sure, you can get to the waterfall, but you're probably not getting in the water at all.
Nope.
You better stay on that trail. You're not hiking around the area of the waterfall.
Yeah.
So you still think you can hike all the way across wherever you want in Bears Ears? Right.
Maybe, as long as it's on a trail.
As long as it's on a trail, or if you just don't give a shit about laws and want to walk with your dogs off leash everywhere. Sorry, I'm being facetious there.
Yeah.
I would love to walk with my dogs off leash, but I understand there are laws and why those laws are there. And I understand that not everybody's dog is amazing and fantastic. So I think it's actually a better idea to keep them on leash. Plus, I also understand what the travel management plans are asking. Are you planning to sleep out there?
No.
Ooh, you're not going to go sleep out at Bears Ears anywhere?
No, not anymore.
Well, somebody might want to go sleep out there.
Yes.
Dispersed camping, the free pull off and pitch a tent kind of thing, got limited to designated sites only. Apparently dispersed camping was allowed.
Okay.
Pretty much everywhere. BLM land, right?
Yeah.
Not anymore.
Nope.
That is limited to designated sites only with no camping buffers around every water source and developed area. And unapproved existing spots slated to be reclaimed, which means they're going to find a way to barrier off existing dispersed camping sites so that nature can kind of reclaim them, right?
Yeah.
We're seeing this happening outside of St. George.
Sure.
There's a huge BLM sector of land outside St. George that they've closed to. I don't want to say closed to dispersed camping, but you can only dispersed camp in the designated places. And there's a lot of places that are still like, there's a camping spot there, but they just have it closed because they don't want the population density of camping sites more than whatever they want it to be. Right.
Okay. I wonder what determines a designated camping site.
That's a good question. I don't know. I don't know what criteria the BLM used to make those and decide which ones stayed and which ones were going to get closed and get reclaimed by nature.
Yeah. Or how do you know it's a designated camping site? Like, are they putting,
there's going to be a sign.
There's going to be a sign you can camp here, or you can camp at pole number 27 or whatever. Or is it like, okay, there's a fire ring?
No. At least outside of St. George, Utah, it's exactly the first one. There's a numbered pole and it states you're only allowed to stay at the numbered poles. And if there's somebody already there, tough luck.
Wow.
So yeah, when we went to Cruise Moab with the Bronco and the trailer a few years ago, we were planning on staying outside of St. George to dispersed camp, and we could not find an open spot. We drove around for 2.5, 3 hours.
Dang.
Trying to find an open dispersed camping spot. Couldn't find one.
Okay.
I think we ended up stopping and staying the night and camping in a quote unquote construction area that just nobody was there.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure we're not allowed to stay here, but we don't have anywhere else to go. So we're just going to stay in this construction site. All right. So how many sites survive is left to the Bears Ears Commission and the BLM, with no built-in way for people who camp there to defend a single one or have input into it. So again, the decision as to what sites are going to supposed to be there and not be there is not going to come down to the users and people using them.
It's not up to you.
It's not up to you. You get no say in it. Are you bringing the dog? Don't forget the leash everywhere, all the time. Your dog runs off leash only if it is hunting, herding, assisting search and rescue, or a service animal. A family's hiking dog has no off leash option anywhere in 1.36 million acres, and dogs are banned outright from a whole list of places on top of that.
Dang.
In the new travel management plans that have not been enforced yet.
This is why I have a cat.
There you go. You want to bring your cat? Keep it on a leash, Jimmy.
It doesn't say that.
That's true. It doesn't, I guess.
My cat can be off leash.
Yeah, there you go. Sure.
But you have to have your dog on leash.
Can I bring my pet emu or my ostrich?
Sure,
I guess so.
Why not?
If they're only talking about dogs.
Yeah. It doesn't say animal.
It's fair.
It specifically talks about dogs.
Fair.
Yeah.
Do you like to climb?
Yes.
You like rock climbing, Jimmy?
Sure.
Well, get
I
fucked.
do. Oh.
Every existing route is on the table for closure.
Every route.
Every existing route in 1.36 million fucking acres of Bears Ears is on the table for closure. So if you like rock climbing, get fucked is what they just said. You can't place a single new bolt or anchor without an approval process to be defined later and run through the Bears Ears Commission BLM. Do you think you're going to have any input? Any of the users, rock climbers, going to have any input into that process?
Nope.
Probably not, based on previous patterns. Check out Cave Rock or Massacre Rocks to see how this story ends.
Okay.
So rock climbers, if you guys think that you still have everywhere to go play and recreate, get fucked. Rockhound, do you like collecting rocks?
No.
Okay, that's good because mineral collecting is completely outright banned.
Though I have been looking into, I don't remember the name, but there's a Japanese form of finding mountainscapes in a rock.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
Yeah. And I've been learning more about it, but it's not something I'm going to do.
Okay.
Yeah.
What if your kid decides to take a bunch of rocks home in his pocket?
I probably broke a federal law.
You broke a federal law.
Yep. Do you know anybody that likes rocks in your family?
I've got one that's loving them right now.
Yeah.
Have to keep checking his pockets every time we do laundry now. Then there's stuff that reads like a parody until you see the sentence sitting on top of it. Before the plan gets to its list of banned activities, it lays down recreation paragraph 14. Any activity inconsistent with the protection of Bears Ears National Monument of objects and the Bears Ears cultural landscape, as determined in collaboration with the Bears Ears Commission, will be prohibited. You want me to read that again?
Yeah.
In layman's terms?
Sure.
Any activity that is inconsistent with the protection of the monument, objects, and the cultural landscape.
Okay, so anything that is not consistent. With the protection. So anything that isn't consistently protecting the landscape, monuments, or anything else.
Yep. And who defines what is consistently protecting?
Them.
The commission does.
Okay. Commission.
Yep. The Bears Ears Commission decides what is protecting and what is harming, quote unquote. Not protecting, I should say. Because that's the legal definition. There is a legal difference between harming and not protecting.
Yes, absolutely.
And so the commission gets to decide that it will be prohibited.
Okay.
So again, another legal language.
Yes.
And this is why lawyers get paid big money, because they get paid to find stuff like this. That sounds good in theory.
Mm-hmm.
But the affirmative language used in terms of will be prohibiting is a very serious issue.
Okay. Yeah.
Because it means that their job as a commission is to prohibit things from happening.
Sure.
To prohibit activities from happening, not evaluate and see if maybe a banned activity is no longer not harming. Their only goal is to ban future stuff from happening. That's written into legal language.
Okay.
So will be, that's the actual blank check. Everything after it is just examples the drafters happen to think of.
Sure.
So this sentence kind of took place before everything that we got into before.
Right.
Rock climbing, hiking, dispersed camping, mechanized, motorized, non-motorized. This sentence here came before all that.
Right.
And then everything that we've already talked about was just
examples
that they had already thought of when drafting this all.
Right. So anything else that might happen in the future that they haven't thought about
is going to be considered.
It's going to be considered and possibly banned.
Yep. Which goes again to just prove that national monuments are set up to restrict access and human activity from areas.
Right.
So, and the Bears Ears National Monument objects to be protected, quote unquote, according to the legal language here, is the entire 1.3 million acre landscape.
Why?
Because that's the national monument. because the national monument was set up as 1.3 million acres instead of the Indian cultural sites.
Mm-hmm.
So
that's ridiculous.
The examples are something. The prohibited list also includes base jumping, hang gliding, paragliding, wingsuit flying. Niche, sure, but the same list bans highlining,
okay,
slacklining,
yep,
geocaching,
okay,
and we promise we're not making this up, stacking rocks.
Sure.
If you get caught stacking rocks in Bears Ears National Monument, you may have just created a felony.
No building ducks or Karens, like
nope.
apparently. Yep.
Drones are completely gone for the public. You're not allowed to run a videography drone, photography drone, anything like that for the general public. Commercial and organized filming gets capped hard and pushed into a permit system. Banned outright anywhere it might cause a disturbance or touch a sacred site. Again, that's the entire 1.3 million acres, not just the actual sites.
Yeah, that's all Connecticut.
Yep.
In Utah.
Right. Even a hot air balloon needs a permit to touch down. If you bring too many friends, you need a permit for that too. But don't get lost in the wingsuits. They're a distraction from recreational 14, paragraph 14, first sentence, which needs no list at all. If an activity can be called inconsistent with the protection of objects, it is prohibited. And as we'll see, the plan defines the object as everything.
Yes.
So walk us back through. The monument did not restrict any recreation. Which form of recreation did it not restrict?
It did none of them.
All of them.
Everything.
All of the answer is all of them. They restricted every fucking thing. So, anyways,
that's ridiculous.
And there's one more trick here that would have led to even more restrictions if the enforcement had been able to take place, right? The people making that argument that the monument did not restrict recreation are also dishonestly neglecting to tell you about how the plan they created set the stage for even more restrictions. They've got a technicality on their side that's worth understanding. Federal land plans get built in tiers. Okay. So there's multiple tiers to this, right? First comes the big programmatic plan, like the one signed in 2005, this travel management plan, which sets the zone and hands out the authority.
Okay.
Then later come the implementation plans. So the travel plans and area plans that actually decide route by route, activity by activity, object by 1.3 million acre object, what closes and what stays open. There's two different layers at play here.
Right.
And the restrictions were carefully sorted between them. At the programmatic layer, the second one, the plan mostly drew zones and reserved, the first one, the programmatic, they're setting up the infrastructure, right?
Yeah.
The layer plan mostly drew zones and reserved powers. Barely any specific trails were closed on paper the day it was signed. The plan only formally closed a couple dozen miles in a monument the size of a small state. So if you showed up to object, the answer was reassuring. We're not closing your trails with the implementation of a national monument and this plan. That's a question for the travel plan, and there will be a whole public process when we get there.
Okay, good.
Yay. What that reassurance left out is the catch. Once the programmatic plan zones an area closed, the later travel plan is not allowed to put a route back. The outcome was already locked in upstream. It just hadn't been announced. So when the travel plan is finally introduced years later, the answer flips. We're not making a new decision here. We're just carrying out the plan. The plan being carried out required the starting point of closing 637,000 acres to motorized access.
I don't like this.
Right? That's the really kind of crazy, fucked up part about what's happening right now is that it's not just once in your face. It stages over time, and people get worn down by the stages. They don't remember what happened with the last stage. They don't remember when the next stage is coming. You lose track of when all these stages happening. And by losing track of it with the general public and making it more and more complex for the general public to stay up and pay attention to everything going on, the more they can just close shit without you really being able to do anything about it.
Paying attention to it because it's just lost in the weeds at that point.
Yep.
Yeah,
exactly. So they're creating a lot of noise.
Yep.
So that you get confused and you lose track of what's going on. Follow any restriction and it falls straight through the crack between the two tiers. Up top, it's not decided yet. Down below, oh, sorry, it's already been decided.
Right.
The hard look, the real public fight, the day you get to stand up and say, no, never quite happens. Because each layer points at the other. The closures don't arrive as one act and you can rally against. They come in waves over years, each one dressed up as a routine paperwork. We've said it before and we'll say it again. Monument closures are a process, not an event. That's how someone can look you in the eye and say the monument did not restrict recreation. On the day it was signed, most of the restrictions technically had not happened yet in 2020. You can still go out and make a social media reel with you and your unleashed dog walking through the monument with that Mumford & Sons song about your swelling rage in the background. But that's because the closures and fines and the restrictions were never enforced yet.
Right.
The plan was signed during the final days of the Biden administration, and the Trump administration has not enforced any of the closures that are required or contemplated by the plan. The plan did not slam the doors. It wired the building and walked away.
Yes.
One detail sets that timer to apply to everywhere. The plan declared the entire 1.36 million acre landscape itself an object. The quote unquote, the object that is being protected by the National Monument, even though when it was originally set up, it was cited that this was when it was originally set up. I think back in 1997, it was originally cited that the Bears Ears National Monument was going to be for those Indian cultural sites, right? And now this new plan has defined the entire 1.36 million acres as the object worth protecting.
Sure.
Situated upon the landscape that has to be protected, and every restriction in it is triggered the need to protect the monument's objects. If the object is the whole landscape, there is no acre the closure and restriction authority cannot reach. That's not a limit on the restrictions. It's a blank check. Which brings us to the accusation that keeps showing up in our feeds. Everybody's seen them. If you're paying attention to national public lands issues, the algorithm knows about it, and it'll feed you something that's been going on with the national monuments right now. So the question keeps coming up: how dare a recreation group support the reduction of the national monument?
Okay.
The answer is simple. We're the only group fighting for recreation access that is telling you the truth about all the restrictions that were drafted to shut down access to all forms of recreation, including walking, across 1.3 million acres.
Yeah.
Turn it around. How dare a group or a list of brave businesses or impressionable influencers that claim to speak for recreation defend a plan engineered tier by tier to close recreation down slowly, quietly, on a delay, with a legal trigger that reached every square foot. Supporting the reduction of Bears Ears monument boundaries is not a betrayal of recreation users. It's the only position that takes recreation users of all kinds seriously. If you're not burning your Patagonia jacket in protest yet, go back to the start and read this all one more time. Okay, if you got through this a second time and you're still not burning that Patagonia jacket, can we at least have a word with your dog?
What did Patagonia have to do with it?
I don't know. I'm guessing Patagonia is one of the companies that's supporting CBD and SUWA.
Maybe, but that doesn't seem like something they would support. But I don't know that organization very much. But they are for land preservation.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know if they're for limiting access. I think they would be
if you're supporting the Bears Ears National Monument staying 1.36 million acres, you're supporting taking away access from people.
I just don't know if Patagonia.
That's fair.
I think they're using Patagonia as like, you're an outdoorsy person, so you have a Patagonia jacket.
Fair.
Yeah.
So the real protections are still intact. None of that means the people who loved Bears Ears were wrong to love it. The cliff dwellings, the rock art, the dirt roads, the scenery, those are real. They're sacred. and they matter. But you never had to close 1 million+ acres to hikers and wingsuit aviators to protect them.
Right.
Wrecking or looting an archaeological site is already a federal crime on every acre of public land, monument or not.
Okay. Wait, reread that sentence.
Wrecking or looting an archaeological site
Okay.
is already a federal crime on every acre of public land, monument or not.
Sure. Understood. Is that an archaeological site?
I'm pretty sure they are.
Okay.
That's the cultural heritage sites. I'm pretty sure they are because I've heard them described as these are archaeological sites that are now losing their protections.
Interesting. Yeah.
I
think that's the key of that sentence, right?
Agreed.
If they're an archaeology site, then it doesn't matter what it has. It already has all these protections.
Agreed.
Yeah.
Yep. So the remaining monument boundary is still a national park sized area.
Yes.
Jimmy said that earlier. That includes the Shashja and Indian Creek cultural sites.
Interesting.
So the current boundaries that Trump just shrunk everything down to, still are a national park sized area. I think it's like 225,000 acres.
Yeah.
That includes the Shashja and Indian Creek cultural sites that I'm guessing are the archaeological sites that they're talking about here.
Yes.
And yes, there is an honest trade-off. The excluded land reopens to mineral leasing. This is worth watching, and we're watching. But a lease is not a mine, and every real proposal runs the environmental review gauntlet, or should. Weigh a slow, heavily regulated impact that may affect a few hundred acres against the certain and imminent loss of access for an ever-growing list of users to 1.3 million acres, and the recreation math is not close. One thing that keeps getting muddled.
How many square acres or square miles did it say that was there that got reduced to?
The 1.2 that came out of the monument, 1.2, so 1.3 to 1.24, so 60 to 100,000 acres
is what it was reduced to.
Is what it was reduced to, I believe, if I'm reading this math correctly.
Okay. Sequoia National Park is 404,000 acres.
Okay.
Because I was just there.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah. Or 631 square miles. So half of that size.
Roughly, I think. Yeah.
Okay.
One thing that keeps getting muddled, the reduction did not sell anything or fence anything off. The 1.24 million acres that came out of the monument are still public land managed by the BLM and the Forest Service. Still yours to hike, camp, ride, and hunt. What changed was not who owns it. It was the rulebook hanging over it. The reduction is not the last word. It'll be fought over in court and in Congress, and the plans that decide your actual routes could still be updated. That's where this is really won or lost in the plans and the courtroom. So this is where it's really run or lost in the plans and the courtroom. So read the plan, watch the lawsuits, and the next time someone says a recreation group has no business backing a monument boundary reduction, ask them one question. Did you read what the monument was about to do to your recreation? We did. That's exactly why we're here celebrating the decision to leave these lands open for everyone to enjoy.
Right.
So, yeah, I knew that one of the main reasons why people were saying that there's all this recreation going on was because the travel management plans had not been enforced yet. We talked about that in the last time.
Yeah.
Last time we talked about this. I never realized how restrictive the new travel management plans were going to be.
Right. That's wild.
So once I saw this come out and then go through paragraph after paragraph of the actual restrictions to all the activities, I was like, holy crap, they're restricting everything.
Yeah.
They're not just leaving it open for hiking. Like I just thought it was gonna be a national monument and kind of run under the guise of like a wilderness area setting, which is in wilderness areas, you can still hike freely across country. You can still do hunting. You can still fish, right?
Yes.
Not in this one.
Nope.
This is a very restrictive national monument travel management plan that is It's restricting everybody. I don't care what kind of recreation you have. It's restricting it. So, I thought it was very important to make sure this comes to light and people understand that the only reason why you still get to hike everywhere is because it was not enforced yet.
Yes. Yeah. Yet. And I mean, it brings up another point to be like, how are they going to enforce it?
That's a great question. Yeah.
It's not a question. It's not an answer that we have today.
Yep.
But the thing is, what we need to be paying attention to is, how do we prevent these things? How do we stand up against this? How do we try to persuade Congress to not do these things so that we can keep our people's recreation, whatever your recreation is?
Mm-hmm.
Like to some extent, I agree. Like, you can't drive off trail everywhere and anytime.
I agree.
Right?
Yeah.
But, and maybe you can't create new trails without approvals or whatever, but you can't not limit us from going out and going and enjoying the trails that are there.
Yep.
So,
but yeah, this was going to lock up, what was it, 650,000 acres to no motorized or mechanized access at all.
Yeah.
So half of Bears Ears was going to be off limits to any kind of mechanized travel.
Yep.
Which means, are you really going to have access to that if you're a hiker and a backpacker on foot?
Yeah.
No,
you're not.
You're not really. That comes down to feasible access now, which is what we talked about last time. So yeah, it's just crazy. What do we do? That's a good question. I think that because the way that national monuments are designated right now, it's all by a magic wand of the president, right?
Yeah.
So any president, doesn't matter what administration comes into office. I don't give a shit if it's Democrat, Republican, Libertarian, Green Party, vegans, Vikings. I don't care who it is that comes into power. They have the power to designate whatever the fuck they want with a national monument.
Yeah. And that's not right either.
That's not right. Not one person should have the power to do and designate something this big and this restrictive over the public. I really do think that the power for national monument designations needs to go through Congress.
Yes.
It needs to go through elected officials, not appointed officials, and multiple officials, not one official.
Correct. Yeah.
So
checks and balances. That's what the national monument system needs. And with, unfortunately, the Trump administration causing as much chaos as they're doing right now, this is one of the things that they're causing chaos in, which is causing chaos and forcing people to be like, how do we stop one person from causing this much chaos in the future? It's checks and balances. So I'm really hoping that this is getting ready to go to court. This whole expanding, shrinking, expanding again, re-shrinking Bears Ears and Grand Escalante. Every time an administration comes into office, it's going to be going to court because you can't just keep going back and forth like this, right? You do it one or two times, and if you still can't come to an agreement, then the court's got to decide. So I think this is getting ready to go to court, and I think the court cases are what's going to decide who gets the power to designate national monuments. And I know that Blue Ribbon, one of the big things they've been harping on for years about BLM land and this kind of situation, national monument, is that it's all appointed people under one elected official. Okay. And that's a lot of the problem that governs our public lands. Yes.
So I know that Blue Ribbon is going to be pushing for multiple elected officials and everybody elected, not appointed. That way, we as the public have power. If we don't agree with the way the elected officials are running things, we can elect new officials.
Yeah.
We saw it happen in Moab. We saw it happen at, what was that, Horseshoe Bend in the Colorado River?
Yep.
The public spoke up and said, nah, we don't like that decision. We don't like you in power because we think you're going to make that decision again. So get the fuck out of here. We're voting somebody else in. Now, this then also kind of leads into the next topic we're going to talk about. And we'll make it kind of quick because this is something more I just want everybody to be aware of.
Okay.
We talked about how if a data center is going to go in somewhere or something is going to be put in or there's going to be a land grab somewhere or there's going to be a mining lease, long-term mining lease that's going to open in Bears Ears or Grand Escalante or something, that it should, in theory, and I alluded to it a couple times reading this, go through public comment.
Correct.
Public should have a say in public lands and what happens. What we're seeing right now, though, especially with data centers, is that land is getting, they're doing a tricky thing. There are companies, organizations that are either buying land or getting long-term land leases through government entities like the National Park Service, National Forest Service, BLM, and they're getting it zoned as like a solar project or something else, some other kind of construction project, right?
Okay.
And then that goes through public comment and gets okayed. And then after it gets okayed, they say, oh, sorry, my bad. That's no longer viable. We want to put in a data center here instead.
Right.
And they're like, okay, cool. The land was already designated as being set up for this long-term lease project, a construction commercial project. So a data center, that's the same thing as a solar plant, solar farm. Therefore, we're just going to let that go right on through without getting republic commented on.
Yes.
So that has happened at least in one place. I think it maybe two places now.
Wow.
So we as the public need to stay very aware and acutely aware of these little tricks going on. And the fact that, you know, the land, if it does get leased out, maybe a couple hundred acres get leased out for a long-term mining operation that has to undergo environmental review and reclamation afterwards and all this stuff that is supposed to happen with mining claims. We need to make sure that environmental review and public comment period and reclamation after actually happens. And we, the public, need to be able to put up a stink about it if it doesn't.
Interesting. Yeah.
And we need to be acutely aware and pay very close attention to when those things do happen, because I guarantee you, I know that with opening up the national monument, there's going to be some sort of natural resource collection from the national monuments.
Okay.
I don't know to what extent it's going to be. I don't know which ones they're going to go after. There's going to be something, though. We, as the public that are in charge of our public lands, in my opinion, we should be, need to be very acutely aware and pay very close attention and make sure that those companies are held to the standard on their resource gathering for sustainability, because that's ultimately what it comes down to. If it's not sustainable, it shouldn't be happening, in my opinion.
Right.
If we can find a way to do it sustainably and coexist with the land and recreation, and make sure that we're not killing off a bunch of archaeological sites, destroying them in order to mine minerals. I think those archaeological sites are important. I don't think we should be destroying them for resource gathering. But that's on the public. I think we need to be very conscious of that and paying very close attention to it. But I also think that 1.3 million acres is not justified closing off to everybody's recreation.
No.
In order to save a couple hundred acres of sustainable mineral gathering.
Okay.
The key there is sustainable mineral gathering. It has to be sustainable. If it's not, then fuck off.
Right.
But that's something that we need to be very acutely aware of, because there's a lot of other things going on, like at the Texas border, that is not undergoing environmental review, and it's no bid contracts. And there are construction crews just coming in and wiping shit out left and right without environmental review, without sustainability efforts. So that's the stuff that we need to be aware of, and we need to be able to speak up as a community, as the public land owners of public lands. We need to be very conscious of that. So,
yeah. No, I agree. I think that was a great topic. I'm glad that, we have BRC fighting this fight and informing everybody on what's actually going on. And hopefully this topic has infuriated you. And you come to a realization that, our public lands are always going to be at jeopardy, and it's up to the public and us to fight to protect them and keep them open and allow recreation on all levels to happen on our public lands.
Yep.
So, we'll continue to cover stuff like this in the future. We work and are friends with BRC, and we don't really work with them, but we
pay attention.
We pay attention to what's going on over there, and we just feel that this stuff is vitally important to share, so that we're all on the same page. We're all informed. We are all up to date on actually what's happening with our public lands.
Yeah. I always think back to when Ken Hauer was sitting right there on the couch.
Mm-hmm.
And he said, there's different buckets of people out there. There's the people that make shit happen. There's people that watch shit happen. And then there's people that say, what the fuck just happened?
Yeah.
And the goal is to never end up in that third bucket.
Correct.
Never be the one sitting back going, what the fuck just happened?
Yeah.
How did I miss that?
How did I just lose all this public access to this land?
Yep. So at least at bare minimum, be aware and be in that second bucket.
Yeah.
If not able to be in that first bucket. So
absolutely.
I had one more topic. I'm not going to get into it heavily because we're running out of time here. But if you guys are very curious about what we've said, how things seem to happen in California. California seems to be the testing site for a lot of public land closures and OHV recreation closures. Look at all the fights that we have covered on this podcast, on this channel regarding Oceana Dunes, Pismo, Oceana Dunes, State Vehicle Recreation Area, SVRA. And then go look up the Oregon Dunes.
And what's currently happening
currently happening at the Oregon Dunes. The exact legal language that was used to shrink Oceana Dunes by 80%.
I don't know if it's that high.
70%, 50. It was a lot. Was the snowy plover, right?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
There's a little critter up near the Oregon Dunes called the Western Coastal Martin. And the exact same legal language, just substitute snowy plover for Western Coastal Martin, is being used to attempt to shut down all OHV recreation up at the Oregon Dunes right now.
That's wild.
Yeah. Friends of Oceana Dunes is even donating a couple $1,000s to the legal process at the Oregon Dunes because they're like, yeah, we've been through this. We're going through it. We know the playbook that you're going to have to go through. Here's some money you're going to need to pay legal bills.
Yes.
That same language was used to shut down the Western Mojave as well.
Yep.
Over the tortoise.
Yep.
That's down there. So, just keep in mind that what happens here in California, the fights that we see, the fights that we get ourselves into over here, if they're successful here against us, against the OHV community, they're going to get replicated nationwide. There's tons of instances showing that, from dust issues at Vora and the Mint 400 to now Oregon Dunes to other places. So pay attention. Just be aware. Don't be in that third bucket and ask what the fuck just happened. Be aware of what's going on around you guys and at least understand and know what's going on if you can't actually make things happen yourself. So
true that.
All right, man. Anything else for today?
No, I think that's good.
Cool.
Unfortunately, it's a lot of legal jargon and information that is being thrown out, and a lot of stuff, a lot of communication about what's happening in all these places. But I think really what people need to figure out is either you need to stand up and do something, or you need to support somebody that is standing up and doing something.
Yep.
And, we're friends, and we what's the word? We,
support.
Support, encourage, maybe, Blue Ribbon Coalition. We feel that they are representing the off-road community, the OHV community in a whole, whether you're a Jeep, Toyota, side-by-side, any off-road type of vehicle, plus all kinds of other things, as you just heard. And they're supporting outdoor recreation in this exact incident.
Yeah.
So, find somebody to support, or do your homework and, be the person that is going to ask for support.
Yeah.
And I think that's the, what I'm really trying to push in this episode.
Yeah. Yeah. Go support those organizations that are fighting for access, public lands access. I think is the key term you want to be looking for when looking for organizations to support. Organizations that are looking to support public land conservation, public land wilderness, public land national monuments, anything like that. They're restricting lands. They're not supporting access to public lands. So just be conscious of that as you guys look around and you're looking for organizations to support. We like Blue Ribbon Coalition, but there's lots of other organizations out there. Yeah. So pick one and support them if you can't go and be in the fight yourself. So I think that's a good message.
Yeah. If you have any questions for us, you can always find us over on SnailTrail4x4 on Instagram or 4x4 Toyota Tyler on Instagram. That's where Tyler's at. You can email us, Jimmy or Tyler at SnailTrail4x4.com. You can find us on the Discord. The link is down in the show notes below. And you can phone in, be a part of our snail mail episodes at 916-345-4744.
Sweet. I like it a lot. Jimmy, do you have any final words for everybody out there?
Well, my final words are kind of a reiteration of what I kind of said in Thursday's episode about how there should be sort of size volumes of these designations of space, right? Mm-hmm. A national monument should be
the thing itself.
Thing it is, whatever it is, whether it's a tree or an archaeological dig or the cave dwelling, right? Mm-hmm. And then maybe you have a wilderness area for something natural that you need to protect. Mm-hmm. And then all of that should be within a national park.
Yeah.
Right. And the national park isn't there to keep you out, but it's there to control the access on how you access these other things.
And control the infrastructure. I mean, make everything sustainable, right? They're the resource.
They're the resource.
For making everything sustainable in that area.
Exactly. They're the preservation aspect.
Yeah, for sure. Not to be confused with conservation.
Correct.
Aspect. Preservation.
And I mean, like I said on Thursdays, like the Kings Canyon National Monument had fire roads all over the place.
Yeah.
Places that you can go explore, right? Stuff that was not even on my computer or my infotainment system's maps, you know, but when I looked on their map, it had like RS, blah, 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 you know, and you can go drive down this fire road somewhere, you know, so there's still access to a lot of places.
Yep.
On and off road.
Yep. And there's ways to do it, as Kings Canyon is the example of, right? So like, it's not necessarily the national monument is restricted in of itself, but it's the next thing that comes is those travel management plans.
Yeah.
And however those get set up is really where everything gets fucky.
Yes.
So
true that.
Yeah. All right. And refund national parks. That's my other plea.
Yes.
Let's get money back into the national park system.
Absolutely.
Do we really need 50 million Tomahawk missiles? Can we just like dump a couple $1 billion back to the national park system? That'd be nice.
Just one less Tomahawk missile. We could probably fund one national park.
And with that, my friends, don't forget, keep crawling.
Without those Tomahawk missiles, though, we might not have any land to.
Fair point.
I got one for you.
Yes, sir.
What does a spy do when he gets a cold?
A spy when he gets a cold.
Yep.
He sneezes a one. I don't know what.
He goes under covers.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Okay. If you say so.
Where's my pity laughs, at least? Come on.
Oh, that was a good one, Jimmy.
Thank you.
Yeah, you bet.